Is Etsy done for? Etsy has changed. And CNBC just released a video talking pretty brutally in regards to Etsy. And I want to give you guys my opinion. Coming from a guy whose shops have been suspended, unsuspended, I still deal with suspensions. I still, to this day, when I open up a new shop, I deal with suspensions. It is frustrating as heck. But I'm also a seller that reached over 100,000 in sales, and I've built a business that is pretty scalable. And I also manufacture my dog collars from scratch. So I'm kind of in the worlds that would have a really good perspective on this video. Now, the general premise of this video is that Etsy used to be awesome and pure in the beginning of Etsy, or the genesis of Etsy, but then when corporate greed entered, it then went downhill. That's the general premise of the video. I strongly would disagree with that, but I want to give you guys my opinion. And it's going to be a hot take, so I'm pretty confident some of you guys are not going to like what I think, but I think that's the reason why a lot of Etsy shops are struggling, because they can't understand some of the fundamentals of business. The original Etsy, I believe, was not a good business model. The original CEO of Etsy did not do a good job. And I have several points to say that. And in the video, they've also confirmed that they just didn't want to say it this way. But when Etsy went public, they had to disclose their finances. They had to disclose their internal profits. Are they making profits? And the video confirms that they did not make profits. In fact, they were losing money. And if you dig further, they were losing millions of dollars. But the video says that they were doing great, but when they went public, all this greed came in, and that's what caused the bear market, meaning the stocks started to fall. No, that's not why. Stocks fall because a company is not profitable. So what the original CEO was doing was not working, and he needed to leave Etsy. And why he left Etsy, I don't know, but that was a good decision by whoever made that decision. And why did it not work? Well, it's the same reason you don't see other Etsy-like marketplaces coming online. By definition, what Etsy was originally is to create a marketplace for sellers, for artisans to sell their creative work. The problem with that is artisans or sellers don't generate money by being passionate. You have to create a product that is requested by the buyers. So in the beginning, there was so much emphasis on the sellers that they missed the true point of an actual business. So when people realized that Etsy was not profitable, that's what caused the bear market. That's just how stocks work. When a company's not profitable, no matter the hyper excitement, IPO, that doesn't last if the company fundamentally doesn't work. And that's what caused the bear market. Now, what helped it turn it around was exactly Josh Silverman. Now, I have frustrations with him, with the modern Etsy, and I'll give my opinion at the end of the video. But what he did is he shifted that attention from sellers onto buyers, and he made a more balanced approach. Now, it felt from the seller's perspective, it felt like he was leaving them and moving away from them. But that needed to happen for a company to start generating profits or generating cash flow. And sure enough, he showed the best growth for stock market. Etsy has the largest growth with Josh Silverman in leadership. Now, another thing this video starts to talk about, now they gloss over this kind of very, very quickly because, again, ultimately what CNBC is doing is it's creating Etsy content for YouTubers. And what kind of viewers are going to look for Etsy content? It's going to be sellers, and most likely they're going to be on the more frustrating side of Etsy and not the side that says, hey, Etsy is great. So CNBC did create a video with that in mind. So that's why they glossed over these kind of details quickly, because at the end of the day, they want interactions and engagement with those videos. What they talk about is that then COVID comes around and people were making face masks and everybody was starting Etsy shops. That's why Etsy grew so quickly. And they're saying that it was just a fluke. That's why Etsy had growth, is because of COVID. No, they themselves say that Josh Silverman's decisions, like raising fees or firing 20% of their staff and maintaining the partnership with other manufacturers for sellers, those are the things that he kept. And those are really bad from the perspective of sellers, right? He kept those things. And despite keeping those things, the decisions he made actually made Etsy grow. But that happened before COVID. So the decisions that he made in regards to buyers actually benefited the marketplace before COVID. Now, sure, COVID brought so much traffic, but so did every e-commerce platform. It's not unique to Etsy alone. And obviously, whatever goes up must come down. And we are in a bear market for a while now in regards to traffic, in regards to stock prices, in regards to sales. And that's because we're coming off of that high. So we'll feel that slope Okay, and the economy is not doing great, and people are not buying extra things that they used to buy that they would buy on places like Etsy. So it's not just unique to Etsy. So to say that, hey, Josh Silverman is screwing it up, that's not a fair comparison because those things are to be expected. But he did make decisions that made Etsy grow, and the decisions focusing more on buyers actually worked. So where is Etsy, and is Etsy done for? Well, my argument in this video is that Etsy used to be in a horrible place before they went public. It actually was in a really bad place. And the only thing that made that to turn around is to focus on buyers. It's the direction, hey, let's move towards buyers. That's what made Etsy start to generate profit and start to generate growth. Now, we're in a tough spot, but it's not as worse as it used to be. And so Josh Silverman is using the same formula that has worked in the past to show a bull market. He's using that same formula right now. Now, I think he's moving too much into the buyers and leaving us with automated processes and systems that causes us to be suspended and unsuspended and dealing with all of this customer service garbage. But if we're talking about the overall supply and demand, if we are talking about business on the macro, he is making the correct decisions. Now, if you're operating your Etsy shop where you're making passion your pedestal and you're like, I'm going to only make the things that I'm passionate, you're going to enter a very hostile place that the market is going to vote for. If you're not making any sales, you should change the thing that you're making. And that might involve by suppressing your passion and changing the kind of product that you might not be passionate, because that's just how the marketplace works. You can't create a product that you are passionate about and hope that the surrounding environment changes around you. It's not going to work. In fact, the two sellers that they interviewed, they had like 200 to 300 sales. It's not that much. You can't really use them to say, hey, Etsy used to be awesome and now it's not, because they don't have enough sales to look at that data and truly prove it. Now, art or paintings is not a product that is meant for the marketplace. It wasn't a product that really sold before internet. It wasn't a product that really sold before AI. So to say that it made it worse now with the internet or with all this AI, you can't really make that claim because A, you don't have enough sales, and two, the product itself wasn't in demand before. And again, CNBC did this because they're appealing to angry sellers. And they want to get engagement, they want to get views. But I think Etsy's going to be fine. You're using a formula that has worked before to get it out of a bear market, and they're going to use it again to get it out of a bear market. And we have to align ourselves and really focus. What does a customer want? And I want to sell that product. Now, Etsy did say that they're going to be focusing on de-junkification of Etsy, and they're going to really push against that. So if you have been doing a POD model where you're making thousands of listings, you are going to be in a very bad place. Now, if you want to know how to do POD the right way, collaborating with other sellers, check out the link in the description below. I have a free training to show you how I was able to make an Etsy shop that generated some impressive numbers. If you want to check out a video of me doing that, check out this video. And until next time, have a good one.